Hello and welcome to English Bulletin of IPR Department. I'm Chiring Eden. Let's look at some of the news making headlines this week. As per the latest update on COVID-19 figures provided by the State Health Department, a total of 54 positive cases were reported on Tuesday. This takes the total active cases to 464, total cured and discharged to 1,690, cumulative total stands at 2,173. A total of 45,502 tests have been conducted and 19 infected persons have died so far. It was informed that the single case reported on TrueNat was of a 64-year-old male who passed away on the evening of 14 September at STNM Hospital. He was tested positive at District Hospital Namchi and had diabetes and hypertension. He was a resident of Malli. It was also informed that the 19th death recorded in the state was of a 41-year-old female resident of Upper Sikkim. She was a dialysis patient and had comorbid condition. She was tested positive for COVID-19 and shifted from CRH Manipal to STNM Hospital on 14th of September. She passed away on Tuesday morning. Among the areas that have been contained in Gangtok recently are Sardar Thana, where 2 positive cases have been detected, and Axis Bank MG Marg branch, where 1 positive case was detected. Primary contacts have been identified and sent for home quarantine. It has been informed that for the next 48 hours, Titanic Point Police Post MG Marg shall carry out the functions of Sardar Police Station. Today is World Ozone Day, or International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer 2020. The ozone layer, as we know, is a region in the upper atmosphere roughly between 15 to 35 kilometers above the Earth's surface that is known to absorb a large amount of radiation from the sun and prevent it from reaching the surface. Most importantly, it absorbs the UV light called UVB, which is linked to many harmful effects, including skin cancers and damages to plant and marine life. The ozone layer gets destroyed more quickly than it is created. This day marks the 35 years of the Vienna Convention for the Protection of the Ozone Layer. And fittingly, the theme this year is Ozone for Life, 35 years of ozone layer protection. And how do we celebrate? By taking some of the simple steps to contribute on an individual level. Regularly get your electric appliances serviced and discard appliances that have been in use for more than 10 to 15 years, as they emit more ozone-depleting substances. Opt for Energy Star labels when purchasing appliances for the home or office. Conserve energy in your home and office. Switch off all electronics that are not in current use. Avoid traveling by personal cars as much as possible. Opt for walking whenever possible. Avoid using hairsprays and room fresheners, as these products contain chlorofluorocarbons. Educate the upcoming generations about safety measures and encourage them to go green as much as possible. When it comes to our state, Sikkim, we have a host of green policies that are aligned with developmental initiatives to comprehend nationally determined contribution and sustainable developmental goals, with the primary focus on the environment and society. The state has focused on a large number of programs and schemes for boosting the Himalayan ecosystem. On this day, Honorable Chief Minister of Sikkim, Shri Prem Singh Tamung, in his public message, has urged everyone to pledge to do our best for the protection and preservation of our environment. Sangeeta Pradhan created history in Sikkim after the Ministry of Law, Government of India, appointed her as Sikkim's first Assistant Solicitor General of India on 8th of September. A practicing lawyer of High Court of Sikkim, she is the daughter of Manir Narayan Pradhan and Saraswati Pradhan of Rongli, East Sikkim. Sangeeta completed her studies from Sikkim Government College and started her legal profession in Delhi, where she gained experience in the legal fields from the Supreme Court of India, High Court of Delhi and other Delhi courts. When she came back in the state of Sikkim, she served the Government of Sikkim in the Department of Personal and Rural Development Department as their counsel. Sangeeta Pradhan will now handle cases of the Union Government before the High Court of Sikkim. India reported 90,123 new cases, taking its COVID-19 case tally past the 50 lakh mark. The country also reported 1,290 deaths in the last 24 hours, the highest in a day, the Union Health Ministry said. The number of people who have died of the disease now stands at 82,066, with a case fatality rate of 1.63%. More than 39 lakh people stand cured with a recovery rate of 78.52%. Almost 83,000 patients were discharged in the last 24 hours, bringing the total recoveries closer to the number of new cases. Only 20% or 9,95,933 cases are active. At least 30 members of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha tested positive for COVID-19 in the run-up to Parliament's first session in almost 6 months, according to officials, casting a shadow over the opening day of the monsoon session of the country's highest legislative body. 21 of the MPs belong to the lower house and the remaining belong to the upper house. Most of them tested positive on September 13th, the eve of the start of the session, which will convene on all days until October 1st. At least 17 of the lawmakers belong to the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and rest to the Congress. The list includes Minister of State for Railways Suresh Angadi and 2 BJP MPs from Delhi, Meenakshi Lekhi and Pravesh Verma. All three posted tweets confirming that they tested positive. The monsoon session started on Monday, spread over different shifts in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, with staggered seating arrangements and strict rules in place in the wake of the pandemic. The Lok Sabha passed 2 bills, National Commission for Homeopathy Bill and the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill, introduced 8 more and tabled the supplementary demand for grants. The Rajya Sabha saw the introduction of 5 bills. The upper house also re-elected Harivansh of the ruling National Democratic Alliance as the deputy chairman. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who spoke to the media before the session began, noted that Parliament's monsoon session is being held in an extraordinary manner, with social distancing measures and with the 2 houses conducting business in shifts. He also urged MPs to send a message to the soldiers that the whole country is with them. Remarks that came against the backdrop of tensions at the border in eastern Ladakh, where the Indian Army and the Chinese People's Liberation Army are locked in a standoff. The Pradhanmantri Garib Kalyan package insurance scheme for health workers fighting COVID-19, which was introduced on March 30th this year for a period of 90 days, has been extended for a further period of 19 days up to 25th of September 2020. The scheme provides an insurance cover of 50 lakhs to healthcare providers, including community health workers who may have been in direct contact and care of COVID-19 patients and at risk of being infected. It also includes accidental loss of life in account of contracting COVID-19. According to the release, there is no age limit for the scheme and individual enrollment is not required. The entire amount of premium for this scheme is being borne by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. The benefit or claim under this policy is in addition to the amount payable under any other policies. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has collaborated with the New India Insurance Company Limited for providing the insurance amount based on the guidelines prepared for the scheme. So far, a total of 61 claims are processed and paid under the scheme. 156 claims are under examination by New India Insurance Company Limited, and 61 cases claims forms are yet to be submitted by the states, the central government said. The coronavirus pandemic has pushed almost 37 million people into extreme poverty, besides reversing the progress made in the health sector for past several decades. A report by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation said on Tuesday. It said the widest-ranging catastrophe, the one that has hit every country regardless of the actual spread of the disease, is economic. Citing a projection by the International Monetary Fund, the report said the global economy will lose $20 trillion or more by the end of 2021, despite spending of $18 trillion in trying to stimulate growth around the world. The annual Goalkeepers report by the Foundation primarily analyzes progress on the Sustainable Developmental Goals of the United Nations in alleviating poverty and address health issues. It said India was able to transfer cash to 200 million women amidst the coronavirus crisis, and it not only reduced impact of the pandemic on hunger and poverty, but also advanced the country's long-term goal of empowering women. It has been said that the whole Aadhaar digital financial system in India has proven to be once again a huge asset. In the report, the foundation said the extreme poverty has gone up by 7% in just a few months because of COVID-19, ending a 20-year streak of progress. It said indirectly COVID-19 will cause more women than men to suffer and die, in large part because the pandemic has disrupted healthcare before, during and immediately after childbirth. In an interview, Mr. Gates said, though normally the goalkeepers report projects, a very optimistic approach reminding people about progress on things like economic growth, literacy, child survival, average lifespan. This year's report was different. Japan's parliament on Wednesday elected Yoshihide Suga Prime Minister, with the former Chief Cabinet Secretary expected to stick closely to policies championed by Shinzo Abe during his record-breaking tenure. 71-year-old Suga won an easy victory, taking 314 votes of 462 ballots cast in the lower house of parliament, where his ruling Liberal Democratic Party holds a commanding majority with its coalition partner. He bowed deeply as lawmakers applauded following the announcement, but made no immediate comment. He is expected to announce his cabinet later, with local media reporting he will retain a number of ministers from Abe's government. Suga has said he will prioritize keeping coronavirus infections under control and kick-starting Japan's economy, and has promised to continue Abe's key policy programs. That is all we have for today. Please like and follow our Facebook page, that is Government of Sikkim official page, for the most authentic news and information on recent developments in the government and the state. Thank you for tuning in.